It's a Sunday, muli mutia. Are you steady? You make my life easy. To papa. Now can you get okay light? Take out kolera so that we have natural lighting. Tusime Eddie Jones info Paul Sema Wandera Joshua Sinaraba yali Mukamoli. Let me tell you the truth. You speak with a voice, it's in high definition. I'm doing something something fantastic with muchimanyi battery njikozesa naye yo yavuddeko dda yangambye da replace battery. So anyway, so I'm doing something amazing with ChatGPT here. I'm doing something amazing with ChatGPT, and I realized that if you know exactly what you want, AI can do wonderful things for you. Now, I have Canva Pro. You guys know Canva, and I just heard that Canva Pro is increasing the subscription for us. They introduced things like Dream Lab. Let me see. I've not even explored some of those things, but I'm create an image you'd like to create. What image would you like to create today? Let me see. Let me say, how are you? Anigo Sinabu Uzako. Louis and Edwin Mogerwa, Balviz, Michael Chris Muwonge, Wasa Roderick Fosca, Kwikiriza Maria, Oyatekwa Kwa Brian. Brown Billy Crown. If you know how to use AI, like you know, one thing I've realized is that AI cannot take all our jobs, but AI can make our life a little bit easier. Like it can do 20% of your work that you intend to do. It can literally, it can save your time. Like the amount of work that ChatGPT can do in an hour, you would need like days for you to do it. Good evening, Arthur and all car lovers. We want me to answer the starch. What starch events makes me feel at home. And I just know about the butambura without stress. Auntie Sidina Mukazi. But women are not stressful, you people. Women are not stressful. I was stressing. I'm over Jawa. That's why I'm not. Aha, Dumba Collins, good evening. Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm. Wakoze echange no nyuma. Good evening. Echiche nakoze. So yesterday we bought a Mac-X. Let me just use Bamita Dream Lab Watch at GPT. Let me imagine. Let's see. I just imagined something here for ChatGPT. No, this is the AI in Canva, and I don't know if you guys can see what ChatGPT. Wait, does it do that as well? You see what ChatGPT can do. I mean, this is Canva AI. This is Canva AI. This is not ChatGPT. This is Canva AI. And so good evening my people, firstborn chechiriwo emoroka yo nungi nnyo bambi webale nnyo Tabula's plumbing ate tuva kugirongosa mama bani ava kulongosa munaze nalongoseza ebweru mama bani alongoseza munda Tabula's plumbing services chechiriwo asikoze changwe. By the way guys, this is how my hair is. I don't comb hair, so my hair just be like this. It just waste nongazi biko karuba. After you guys, you see the way you see this hair. Zirabika ngezi karuba nete zikaruba ngabo zirabika. Ebiza nte zikaruba nga sikoze cyangwe ba abane bakole cyangwe. Nze ezange ndeka ndeke zibyekolera. Mwe I think that with everything that you can subscribe to on the internet, get Pro. Like I did Canva Pro and I don't regret. Canva Pro gives me a lot of things. I find that one of the reasons why I did dreadlocks in one of the reasons I did dreadlocks in 2012 was because I just did not like to comb. So guys, muri mutya olesande rugenze rutya eguro naba missing the nade ni mu inspection, and there are things that are probably I think that you guys can learn from yesterday's situation. I also learned the hard way. I find that, and I talk about this literally all the time, and somehow it keeps happening to me. Maybe it's my bad. When Kugamanti, you go look for a car, find it, and then call me to inspect. Sometimes it will work, other times it will not. Most times it will not work. So now, one of the things that I realize that you guys do when Bagamba go look for cars for inspection, you know those receipts are mafutas in. These are fuel receipts, so they have to be filed. This is a receipt for the MTN thing. This is the fuel receipt. Zinozona receipt za mafuta. So when I mukukola tuyombagana tulwanagana tusojjagana naye tukwatire wamu anti agali awamu ge galumenyama. So we can do it. So anyway, when I tell you guys genda fune moroka ompite kujja ku inspectinga. Now the problem that happens is when you're not looking for a car with let's say you're not looking for simply a car, one of the errors that you will do is to zero down on a car that you really like and say ataka jango or kebereno. Now there are times when I will just come and inspect that car and let it go, but then that doesn't sit properly with me. Let me give you a scenario that happened yesterday. So yesterday, a gentleman called me to go Yankubira Friday night. I remember, Arthur, come, I want you to come and inspect a car. It's only one car. It's what I want you to inspect. And if it's good, I go my way. He's a busy person, so he has very limited time during the week to inspect and look at cars. So yes, I confirm with the mechanic, and then Saturday morning we meet up, go look at other options as well. Chris Fitness Chechiriwo. We go look at some of the other options that we saw they were not good, guys. Atebo against of inspecting. So apparently when I was told the budget is 18 million to 20 million depending on what works. So we were working with that. So we go to this some place, some car bond somewhere, and we looked at about 3 cars. We saw a 2008 Primo, which was really bad. And I told this guy, he was the owner of the boat. So I told him, good guy, because he knows me. He's one of those guys that I've wanted for me to like influence for them, and it did not work out. So I told him, Negwe now, tuwe moroke nunji. But there are places that simply just buy bad cars. So we looked at two Spacio new models, but one was 19, one was 18, which was our actual budget. And now all the places that we went to until when we started moving later on in the day, like I'll tell you, all these places, it's the person that wanted me, the person I was expecting for, that knew these people. He had already talked to the brokers, see? So we looked at then the tulaweka paso sete akared era waliwa ayagala paso sete nga tofa kukala nga ne ya radio jivuga. We saw a very good paso sete UBN nga bagitunde million 18, I think. So anybody that wants to buy a paso sete that is cheap, we saw it, and I'm sure the only reason it's cheap is because of the color, because it's red. No one wants to drive a car that has a color that gets them probably that could even get them locked up. You get your color ya red is very dangerous. Then the yellow color gets you like pinpointed, like pointed that gets people looking at you and pointing fingers at you. Oh, you guy have moroka ya yellow, you guy have moroka ya yellow. But then the red one has its own dangers. So it was a very good car. The only reason we did not buy it is because it was red. Mpozo kula esi yabadde takola. Nenga obupira bwabadde bukyaliko nga busobola okuvugayo ebbanga eriwera. So the AC wasn't working, but the mechanic told me it's electronics. So it kind of checked out. So we zeroed down on the paso sete, but the color still, the buyer did not like it. So we go back to his place, the first place that he had seen, and he had seen like 3 cars, IST, Allion, and the Allion was the car he had zeroed on. Now later on, I'm going to tell you why he had zeroed on the Allion. So we see the Mark X, which I did not like. So now, when I met this gentleman, I thought he really just wanted an Allion. And the Allion that we were looking at was a UBH at 18 million shillings. That's an offer that no one can beat, I can tell you. Remember, we bought the Allion UBA last time at 17.5. So when he told me there's a Toyota Allion that I looked at that is UBH at 18 million shillings, but I don't know, I don't have the time to look at other options. I told him, the UBH offer is hard to beat. If it's a good car, we'll just go look at it and then you drive away. And that was my hope, because the owner of the Allion had told him he would come at midday. And then I thought, okay, like midday, we check out the car, we go our separate ways, I go back to work. Unfortunately, that did not work out. And then that's where I saw the Aqua. You guys know how I've been window shopping for hybrid vehicles. And the survey is coming, the form is coming very soon. So, and so we look at the Allion, it looked really nice. The interior was intact, the car was intact, all 4 new tires, the spare tire existed and all that. But now, this is where I want you guys to pay attention. You've had, and I've told you several times that I would have no problem buying a car that had accident history. I would not have a problem buying a car that is an accident car. But there are times when it's actually very, very important that you don't buy an accident car. So we look at this car and it's really good. And then the person that is selling says, move game. And it's intact. You know, the Allion is literally the premium model. So it's intact, it's solid and all that. So the first time I don't drive, it's the mechanic drives. And we go all the way up to Kololo, that side, and then the mechanic parks somewhere. And then he pulls me aside and he says, Arthur, emoroka eno eyina ekizibu. Omuntu atamanyi moroka tajja kiraba naye gwe osobola okukiwulira. Customer we moroka eno ajagala. Tumuleka agigule nze n'akikanika, because now for him it was conflict of interest, because it's something that he could have fixed, but I am not sure that he could fix it properly. So he asks me, your customer wants this car. Should I tell him or we leave it and we let it go? So, and he says, but I want you to feel it yourself. You drive the car. So I drive the car. And as we drive the car, because we had noticed a accident, you know, there are cars that get accidents and they repair it very well, or you find it that it has just been repaired. So it's very hard for you to see the problems. So yali told me the side driver one. Woka, side driver. and they fixed it up properly. They patched it up very, very well. Even the airbags did not pop. But I think when the person hit something, he hit it from extreme this side. Even the airbags, the sensors of the airbags did not pop. So, or they popped and they replaced the driver's airbag. That's a possibility. So when we were driving this car, nga bobo jivuga bwoti, emoroka yeskedda side ya driver. Okitegeera. Emoroka mukweskanga edda side emu, people are going to tell you it's wheel alignment. But personally, I've driven an accident car before, and sometimes it can be more than wheel alignment. So boy yeskanga edda side ya driver, because fetwade twala be the accident that is on this side. It's just this corner here that had an accident. So we saw, and well, the mechanic had decided like, we can keep quiet about it. You know, there are times when someone is passionate about the car and you really want them to have it. You don't want the person that bursts the bubble. But when I was driving, I just mentioned it and I said to the owner of the car, because he was in the car, and I said to the owner of the car, you know what? The side, and the owner, who was an old man, and he said, Emorokeno yetaga wheel alignment kyekyoka bagikola because wheel alignment mumusasule emoroka mugende mukola alignment. And just because me I need had accident history, so I mentioned it, na ene moroka anti yakonamu, and he said tekonanga mu tayina byali ekonye nawe yafuna kufunyika pimpo. So the guy said yafuna kufunyika pimpo okitegeera. And I said, you know what, bwebanga yafuna kufunyika pimpo, you know what we should do, let's go do wheel alignment. If the alignment fixes the problem, then we pay for the car and we go. Now, at this moment, I'm actually glad that this person called me for inspection. You know the kinds of cars that you buy at 18 million shillings and sell at like 12, 10, because of an issue that you could have seen but was hard. So now for starters, mumpaji wano yasaye driver, it was bad kola ko wabadde walabika empaji ebweru wabadde walabika nga mundeno bakolayo bulungi. And the issue with this car, first of all, when we went to see this car, the seller of the car wasn't giving us space. Ngatatwa space kogera na muntu yazegula, because they had met already. He knew that this guy liked the car. Ngachakora wetuyimira wayimira wetudda wadda you get wetudda wadda, and he's an old man. Nzabasajja abakulu abo mbatyamu kale, because most of them were from the army. Abasajja abakulu mula abasajja myaka 5 anamwita bonna bali mmaje bonna. So I find them to be like dangerous. Nga bola baswaziniga mu commando oba wala vandambwe bagende yo munsozi ne bekweke yo. So I'm always imagining that these guys mujine emirimu gine ejemoroka muno bekweka mu bekwesi. So but when we said, you know what, muzeyi kola wheel alignment yemoroka eno bweterera tugisasule tugende, muzeyi n'agamba nze nsobola okukola wheel alignment naye musasuleko emitwalo 5 ku moroka mugisibeeko nze ngende nze nkole wheel alignment. And me, I told the buyer tosibanga ku motoka. Okusiba ku motoka is a trick that car sellers use, because bwosiba ko oboguze kitegeza go bwe kuba no gamba mnolonga buying gali 5 go gaba gafudda kugamba nze motoka wagiguze either gisasule ogitwale obagenda. So I told the buyer, don't deposit on this car, tusoke tugende kole wheel alignment bweterera oba analysis eva mu wheel alignment bwejja negama kyetogera si kyekituufu, then you buy the car. So Muzeyi said let's go for wheel alignment. We did go for wheel alignment. Muzeyi was supposed to contribute 20 and they said the buyer contributes 20. But what to say, well, because me, I knew what was happening with the car, and I told the buyer, you know what, you pay for wheel alignment. Don't let Muzeyi pay for wheel alignment. And me, I knew. So because when we went to wheel alignment, wheel alignment, the guy that was doing wheel alignment, ompira gwa side ya driver gwali gwesikanga gwadde emabega. That's when the frame moves, for the guys that don't know. Normally when an accident has like a head on, the frame can move. Ngane wojitekako nose cut teterera. For the guys that don't know nose cut, a nose cut is like, you know, a nose cut starts from the fenders of the car, yeah, or outwards in front. So normally when you buy a nose cut of a car, it comes with the bumper, the lights, the fenders, which again, it comes with all the radiators, the grill. It comes with literally everything that is in front. Now, when you're going to buy a nose cut, you better hope that the frame did not actually move. So the frame did move, and ngompira gwa side ya driver guli munda, ngogwa side ya passenger guli maso. So now that normally has a solution. the solution is to pull the car. Mwali mubirabyeko mu DIY videos ezo ez'aba China bebatera obikola aba Japan nga bari repairing emmotoka za accident. So the solution is you can buy the car and go repair it. Bagiteeka kati wano mu Uganda bagiteekako ekijegere ne bakisiba ku muti and then they reverse the car. Which you know what I'm meaning. Bagiteeka ku kijegere ne bagiza reverse negende kijegere kijikwata ne kijisika frame ne down position. That's at least me as a person that has had an accident kakalina yange yakuba omuti. I remember how they did it. Now bwe baba tebakitereeza at the time when they fixed this car kitegeeza kiyinza okuba tekisobola kuggwamu okitegeera, but the person really liked the car nemugamba you can buy the car and work on that thing nekiyinza obutaggwamu ekintu ky'okumuluka okuba nga yesekedda side emu singa kibadde nga ddala kya alignment emipiira egyo gyalibadde tegiri ki bwe gityo. So that's what happened and muzeeyi yakolimidde makanika. I'm glad nze nabadde nga atalina kyenjogera. And that's one thing I like about some moments like those. And the buyer decided that he wasn't buying. Now, I'm going to tell you that when you call me for inspection, please be open. I've just realized this today morning, that the buyer wasn't really very open with me in the beginning. And until we actually bought the car, I was still trying to decipher whatever was happening in the day. I had no idea. Nowadays, simanyi the actual budget. Nowadays, simanyi what the actual terms are. You know how someone can tell you, I have a budget of like 18 million, and you think, oh, this person has 18 million, so let's work with 18 million. So at that moment, so we talk with the buyer, and I ask him, what cars are you actually going to buy? And he says, I actually have no choice now. I was just looking for a car to drive my kids to school. So this person was just buying a car that's going to drive the kid to school. And this person is one of those people, for the love of cars, and once I think you need to figure out what kind of person you are. Bobanga oli mubede. It's important that you understand your position and buy a car that works for your position. And this is something that I don't think hadn't understood. Oyagala makanika akolimibwe anti kati jekenze sete bakolimira nze ntya n'okunkuba okitegeera kama makanika bagenda mujjawa makanika tebalina gye bagenda mujja olumu nkyusa n'enkola ne makanika omulala naye nze mbeerawo. So and then he said, I considered the Mark-X, I considered IST. So he considered, we see, he even considered a Paso Sete. So this is the time that I actually realized that, oh, okay. And then I say, we should look at also Mark-X's. So this is when we start looking at Mark-X's. And for the budget, you see 18 million is a lot of money. But 18 million, when you're buying a car, you need to look at yourself. What cars speak for the kind of work I do? What cars speak for the kind of role I hold? What kind of cars speak for my brand? You get? And then that's when you start like sieving out the cars you should be buying and those that you should not buy. Now, at 18 million, we could get a good room. At 18 million, we could get a very good Vitz. At 18 million, we could get a very good Sienta. But all those cars, after knowing the kind of person I was dealing with, I could not allow them to buy those cars. Why? Because of the position jalimu. Waliwo omuntu watuuka nga the car will speak to your customers. Nga when you go to for example a meeting and you park somewhere, they may not see this car every time, all the time, but when you get out of the meeting and accidentally the people you're getting business from see the car you're driving, they say, oh, sente zaffe zigenze watuufu n'omusajja ali akutte ku ssente. And some cars, however expensive they may be, or however much they may be in the same budget, they don't speak the same language. Because if for example, you want to project someone that has money, but you're driving a Vitz, you get, it doesn't, even if it's a UBR, nga wakajijamo bond, a Vitz doesn't project someone that has money. Okuja kongo redensi yonayo ne kumanyi nti oyina sente. Kati see, if Mandela drove a Vitz, we would say nanga bagagga babala. But if Arthur drives a Vitz, Arthur taina, oh, you get it? So it's different. So if Arthur wants to project that he has money, he has to drive a car that projects that he has money. Ontegeera, And there are people that don't have to project that they have money. And there are people that really have to project. So this person, the position he was in, and then that's why I advise him to buy MacX. And then when you look at the fact that he drives less than a kilometer from work to home, kilometer mugenda ku mulimu ziringa kilometer kati tugambe 5, kilometer 5 genda ku mulimu 5 kudda waka. So you see, oyo muntu MacX tagenda jiwulira nti enywa ever. And this is where probably, I think I've shared this thing. I know someone that drives a Subaru. I'm using this example because it's the person that told me. This person drives a Subaru, and this person told me he has spent a year without fixing anything in their Subaru. A year. And for me, I was like, okay, what do you want to fix? You drive from Mtinda, you work in Kololo. That's less than 10 kilometers a day. Kati omuntu atambula kilometer 5 a day. Emmotoka yo terina kyegenda kufa. There is no point where you're going to overspeed. There is no point where you're going to drive at 100 kilometers per hour, so your engine is going to be intact. And this is one of the reasons why when we are buying cars, I try as much as possible to find cars that belong to people. Now, if you found a Subaru that belonged to that person, avuga ntinda kololo ntinda, that car would be intact. You get? So, nti nebwaba takanese nebirwadde olumu tabiraba, because taina wagenda kuba pothole, taina wagenda kuba hump between Ntinda and Kololo. There is no hump. Nebinye ebiriwo bitono, you can even avoid them. You get? So there is no point where nebwa anaba mu nekirwadde tajja kukiwulira, because avuga distance ntono nnyo okitegeera. So this person is literally going to be driving like 5 kilometers a day. Bogatako distance yotwala omwana kusomera, that's like 10 maximum. And the MacX gives you 8 kilometers per liter in town. So literally this person is going to be using 8k to 10k a day in a MacX. Now, kakati abala abatya MacX, abatya kawundo, you should not be afraid of these cars. Just look at the distances you're going to be driving daily. What distance? Kati people like me who live far away, like now I'm in my home, like where am I going? I have to be calculative where I go. Now, people like me should leave high consumption. Actually, people like me should be buying hybrids. You get? Nkagule or I consider another option. See, Linda ko emirimu njagala Subaru Forest. Agula Subarus have no problem. So we went and looked at a bunch of MacXs that don't make me happy. MacXs have an issue with the bumpers. I think the bumpers like get a lot of issues if you drive in bad roads. So that's the majority of the MacXs we saw had that issue. Then MacXs have also been seen to have windscreen problems, ngamulimo cracks. Then I realized that also majority of MacXs have been resprayed a lot. Some of the MacXs even have damaged bonnets. And still. So now they tell us about this MacX that belongs to someone, and I call them back because when I talked to him on phone, they had they told us 20 million shillings. The MacX I posted. If you have not seen it, it's the community tabs. So when they tell me 20 million, for us, I knew our budget was 18. So I wanted to buy that MacX at maximum 18 million because that was our budget. And so I called this person and he says, Arthur, MacX Jebabagamba, it's premium. That's premium. Now, I'm going to tell you what differentiates premium from standard MacX. Because MacX is standard and premium and Vertiga. Abatamanyi Vertiga is that MacX that looks really nice. So the standard MacX is the MacX that has a cream interior. MacX webera cream interior, normal cream interior, everything is it's normal MacX, normal rims, everything is normal. That's normal MacX. Now, the Vertiga is a sport version. It's not even comfortable. You get? So you know how MacXs are supposed to be comfortable? The Vertiga is not as comfortable as all the other MacXs because it's sport. Name tojayo jibaja sport, jibaji kaluba muko. So the Vertiga gives you extra performance. Then now the premium version that we bought is a little sporty and a little ordinary. Some of them actually come with leather seats. This one did not have leather seats, but what makes it different? Mwanabe fin eriku on the roof up there, the fin, and some of the things that make it not go to Vertiga. The Vertiga have some extras in here, of course, and the seats. Now, that MacX that we bought is not 4-wheel drive, but it has an option, the traction thingy, that helps you go through slippery roads. And then it also has the sport mode. The sport mode gives you extra performance. And then that. Now, those two, there are two buttons that are there. Now, it will not be 4-wheel drive, but it will give you the performance of a 4-wheel drive car. Ezo option ezebiri zezigifule yenjawulo. Okitegeera. I find that literally that's the only thing that makes it. Ne Vertiga, ngojeke ekyokuba nti eri sporty, talina nnyo kyanjawulo ku markets yabyo zonna zibana 2.5 liter engines. Of course, starting with Vertiga and then Premium, there are some cars that have 3 liter engines. But I don't find that we need the 3 liter engine in Kampala. So, the markets, and of course, then the rims are also different. They were 18-inch rims. So you put 18-inch tires. 18-inch tires, each tire is like 350k. Which tegera. Abajitula mitwalo nga 5. 18-inch jigenda ku mmotoka kino olowooza. Jigenda ku mmotoka nene. Which tegera. So we looked at that car and went to drive it. We took it on Service Bay, Erunya, to check it out. And everything, bushes were still new and all that. And then they called us for another markets. You see the picture I posted and said, I'm still in inspection. That's the other markets that we saw. So that markets and the other market were literally the same. But this one, the one we bought was definitely better interior. The one we bought had a black interior. Cream, dark gray like that. Zombies are nunji, but the other one was good. So we went to another bond where they had like 5 Mark X's. Now, for me, I think the goal normally is to stay either on or below the budget. And so we looked at other Mark X's, but the honest truth was, Mark X yabadde nunji. Ochitegeera yabadde nunji. So, and by this time as we speak, it was around 4 p.m. on a Saturday. Like I've said, Saturdays are not very favorable for buying cars. So if you must buy a car on Saturday, you should wake up very early in the morning. And if you're going to hire Arthur for inspection, then we need to start by as late as 9. So this Mark-X was definitely ticking all the boxes. After knowing the person that was buying this car, it ticked all the boxes. A remote sport version, a remote traction control, so yes, all the Mark-X's we bought don't have those things. Zona zetuguze in the past budget zina. Nedi Mark-X yetwagule ya 4-wheel drive, the 4-wheel is automatic. So yes, and you know the things that make cars, the things that make cars special are not so many. Like you'll find that the Vertiga has an open roof. Morocco in an open roof by the by a full option. That's like a full option. Can for Uganda, we don't really need open roof cars. Otherwise, we're gonna funa visible. So now I had left my car somewhere, and I had left valuables in the car. So when we parked, I told this gentleman we are buying this car 17 million shillings, and the guy said send us a million abidi. And then they said we are buying it 17, and he said mumpe million 19 n'ekitundu cash. And then he started saying the normal things that those guys say, motoka simanya, premium simanya bichi. And I told him my person that is buying this car does not know all those things of buttons. You get it? I'm sure this person hasn't really appreciated it yet. He hasn't. Like nze yagivuzemu nenji engaging nze njimanyi what it's capable of. But of course the Mark-X is a powerful car. So I told this person, Femoroka tujigula, but the person that is buying this car doesn't know all those special things. So just to Moroka. He said, and I said, you know what? Keep talking. Let me go get my car. Now, this is the gap where I missed things. This is when I come back, is when I discover things. So when I came back, we hadn't eaten anything the entire day. So, of course, the guys that have done inspection with me, you know that I'm buying kubara. I had eaten peanuts. None of the other guys in the car had eaten anything. So when I came back, nenzija ngabali meredwa bali maganye. So the last thing I remember ngabali maganye, the person that was buying the car 18 million shillings, and the other person wanted 20, I think. That's the last. So when I came and they were there, so I went to buy obunyama kukubo, and the person that was buying followed me. And I asked him, and he said, Ga yoyo, agambye, anguza 20 million, muweko 17 million cash. Now, this is when I discovered that my buyer had 17 million cash. Now, guys, when you hire me for inspection, be as honest as you can be with me, because it's easier for us to plan when we know how much. Normally, omuntu aina cash nga you can drive a car that works, any car that works for you. It would be very nice for me to know and I advise properly, because with 17 million shillings, so I know nyeze moroke yo 17 ne tuteyola. Okitegeera twali nonyeza market ye 17 ne tuteyola. Okitegeera, but and by the time I came we yazze nga tuli nyama, he had already agreed with those other guys. Okitegeera, so I called the guys okubagamba mutuguze 19 tubaweko 17. Okitegeera nga gaya ngama naye ate the buyer has already accepted agula 20 apako 17 in cash. Okitegeera, kati my hands were tied and I hadn't known that the only money that was available was 17. Nze muntandi kwa nabadde mbagainingira 18 cash, 18 million cash, nga manyi nti tusasula 18 million cash to chivem, but the buyer did not have 18 million, he had 17, and that's something I did not know, guys, Bambi, because we were buying the Allion 18, so I thought the 18 one was cash. Now this is the time that I discovered the Allion person was selling to him at 18 and taking 15 cash. You get kati bibi nabadde sibimanyi. And I probably should ask more questions more often. I should ask more questions. But I find that, guys, when you're working with me, give me all the information so that we know what we are working with. I also realized that in the past few number of inspections, in information, I let you decide what gets done where. And I think Orumwe, with when we have information gaps, we don't make. But the car is definitely good. But had I known, maybe we would have bought another car at cheaper. Because me, I was looking for a car that is 18. Maybe this person would have given it to us at maybe 18 cash. Had I known that, had the money been there, or maybe 19. But I did not. They never did sent as a cash. Era okubaleka nga manyi nga mugambe tugenda kwa milioni 17 nga nyo agenda kukoma 18 cash tuve waawo. And I just figured it out today morning nengamba, oh, so this is where we, but the car is definitely worth its money. It's just that I found that maybe we could have made a different decision. Maybe we could have bought a different Mark X had all the information been given to me. You get it? But because I did not have the information, like, you know what, you tell me, Arthur, you sent away this a cash. And then I say, can we buy this car with the cash we have, or even less? Or because with 17 million shillings, we could have looked for like a Mark 2 grand. Because the Mark 2 grand, it doesn't do what the Mark X, it doesn't affect people the way the Mark X does, but it pushes, it puts, it take away a kangamu. But yeah, but the car was definitely good. But I just feel like maybe had I been given all the information, maybe we would have done better. Maybe we would have done better. So that's the story. And you know, we paid with Equity Bank. You know, Equity Bank yangu yebi into. The buyer was on his phone. The seller was on his phone. The buyer sent money from his phone to the other person's account. Is we million 17 gains at a charge of 500 shillings. That's the thing that banks are doing now. They're making it very easy. And then the pada guy, yesterday's inspection ata yakusobedde, not as for the recent ones. Yesterday's inspection, I find that initially the goal for that inspection was to look at one car. But because in the nchimanya event to be motoka eyo, I also know a too good to be true offer when I hear one. And the offer of the Allion was a too good to be true offer, a UBH at 18 million shillings. And now, when I learned that it was actually, the person was actually taking 15 million first payment, I knew there was something wrong. Like, now I know. Because I charge 15 cash, nachitegeddera later on in the evening, I thought this person was paying 18 million cash. And I kept telling this person, millions of 18 tulina emmoroka nga nnungi nnyo. Millions of 18 tulina funa emmoroka. You get it? Because I knew 18 million weziri, I thought tutakwata million 18 nze nga Arthur bwe nkwata million 18 njamba njagala ngule VTs ndo zangerenga ko UBP. I know it might be impossible, but that's literally what I want. A big artist, the number yang mwenimu description ya channel eno. Yeah. So the Allion definitely was a red flag for me. And you know how you look at a car and it's too good, and for you to figure out what's wrong with this car. Like when I told the mechanic we're going to see an Allion at 18, yet we had UBH, yet we had just bought the Allion UBA at 17.5, teina mipira, teina chi, okitegeera, something just did not add up. And akakantu kadi kazibu nnyo kakulaba nti the issue that was with the Allion is something that can make you hate your car. Ovuge unga ateba mechanic webayedde abali fane nti there is no mechanic that will tell you nti ekirwadde takisobola. Every mechanic will tell you ekyo nkisobola, ekyo nali nkirabyeko, tuteekeyo ekiwawaatiro, sima tuteekeyo suspension plate, tugule steering rack, obukono si bwewaayo. They will do all those things trying to fix that problem. Chiganire munze kyali mu Kaldina yange oba omusajja w'engulu egwe nakiguza yali kuki. You get Kaldina yange yatuukanga ebikola because yatomera muti. And it's normally abantu bagamba nti emoroka ezeefudde zisinga obubi, emoroka eyeefudde esobola okutereera eri n'etatereera. Because emoroka eyeefudde bwe batekoonye wali maaso nga yeefudde eti osalako busazi baati from here ako n'okasalako n'okasuula eri n'ozzaako kali emmotoka n'edda bupya. Naye emmotoka etomedde bweti bw'etambula mu frame wano eyinza obutadda ne bw'okola ki. And you know the things that happen in Uganda, bamakanika baffe bano abayiiya asiba ku kijegere n'asiba ku muti, ayizulu eyinza n'okugisa ayinza ogisika n'eyitaka ate buyisi oba n'eyuza ebirala. But it's fixable. It's fixable. I just pray that mechanics get a way of actually measuring those things into wapima side eno nti waliyo 11 inches nina akakase nti waliyo 11 inches. That's the thing abagolizi bafebe Kampala kye batakola. And that's one of the reasons why I tell you guys emoroka yobwe etomera and it netomera accident nebanga nga affecting the frame ng'ogiraba yeefunyizaamu gitunde nga bweri ogulenda naddala mu abagule emoroka mu bondi. And I told it to one of my followers here n'atampuliriza n'agenda emoroka n'agikola. Ogenda okukakana nga sente z'ataddemu yali atunda eri n'agattako zino n'afuna emoroka eya bondi ate tagenda, because you can never be comfortable in a car that is that has had an accident. And that's probably why the person that sold this car sold it the Allion, because yalimu akakantu ako ng'emoroka ewunga okitegeera. And but it looked really nice. So when it was yesterday, we had the Paso Sete red in color, looked nice, intact. Nga esi kaya atakola n'emipira ng'ogijinga ne half tank y'amafuta. The person yaganyo jigula because ya people power. And you know kati ye moroko omuntu wa people power n'agigwako what Paso Sete agulangule yadde etambula bulungi nnyo. And it was 18. And for the person that is looking to buy a Paso Sete at 18, jeri na yo ready, we just have to call Klabobe Charlie Bobo. You can call me. Of course, the Royal Sasura is inspection what inspecting and he still pay for inspection. And but the Paso Sete was good. The Paso Sete was definitely good. The only downside was that the color was red. And yeah, so that's the inspection from yesterday. So yesterday I could not be part of you guys. Sabe gasekwa no kubera ku live broadcast. How about I welcome into the Markex family. Markex Moroka Andalam. I think he would have paid a bit less for the Markex at the number, but it was a good buy. How about no premium? By the way, katika nkuwire ekintu kiri Habat, you can pay less kumotoka ngifana netya. I can tell you that we looked at more than 6 Mark X's. We looked at more than 6 Mark X's. And kandabe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We looked at 9 Mark X's. And this one was better than all of them. So, when you pay, ekintu kyoba osasulira kati ene moroka alinge yafunye moroka ya 4-wheel drive nga ate talina moroka ya 4-wheel drive okitegeera. If I have a chance of buying a new number plate, is it advisable to get an old number plate? No, if you have a chance to buy a new number plate, definitely buy a new number plate. Ebintu ebyo ebisede mu biva ku budget. We bought a UBP at 24.5. We bought a UBM at 21.5. You get, but all these were cash payments. Kati, this Markex, I think yalibadde asobola jugula, I think 18.5 over 19 million shillings. Okitegeera ekyatukubyemu kyabadde nti twabadde mu looni nti sente zabadde teziwera. And had I known, maybe we would have looked at other options and then weighed what needs to be worked on and all those things. I did not have all the information on the table. So most of the information nagitegedde later. Nga budde bugenze n'ogenda nga tumaliriza n'omaliriza. Okitegeera. Apadde markets ya sappe na yenze. Bwe naaba nkozeemu nga nfunyemu kasente awo nga nfunye ebireeta income ewera njaggivuga oba kawundo oba ki. Ezo emmoloka ezo zireke nozireka. Juma Ali, Bani Bembade, Alex Waweru, Murad K. Momo VIP, you're welcome. Fahad Laptop Villa, Nagambia Okagule, Martha Marisa, Traveler, Mubede Wachitegede, JK, Chigundu Chiwanuka, Lucas Kevo, Katumba Hamidu, Bob Quick, King Daniels, Rama Charity Organization. Guys, like the broadcast. You guys are 42 twina likes. Abidi Momoka Gazoka. Do you guys think it's fair? Yeah, do you guys think it's fair? Is there anyone that wants to buy a Prado TX? Is there anyone that wants to buy a Prado TX? Ngoje ulira Prado TX na inga ya petrol. Wali agaro gula Prado TX. I think I've had an urge to drive SUVs myself. Na ye, Rakubanti me when I drive a car. Danny Oken Albino, my Sunday is okay, thank you. Atugonza Ronald, you know your judgifuna. I think I've fancied driving like SUVs, but the one thing that I found about myself is that every time I drive a car, the first few minutes when I drive the car, it's really special. But if I drive it for 30 minutes, then it becomes ordinary. So yes, when I was driving the Mark X, the first few minutes, it was magical and all that. But after driving it for like 10 minutes, it became like a practice. Which take it. Fielder UBM, Vilgax, I can't tell you what the best price is because I'm sure the price they are giving you gatako million nga munana no gino ofune moroka bond. Sicho, me I would tell you to go to the bond. What here is the TX? TX zibera ezo TX nkadezirize ngamba 97, 99, 98, 2000 awe watu sisi ni empia dala. Who wants to drive a TX? Who has fancied a TX? Who? And tell me why you fancied it. Guys, sigenda basi ibula. I'm Team Mark X, come what may. Beko fida ku Mark X. I find that literally all cars can be ordinary. All cars can be ordinary. Kati since da wawe imide. Ata vits mu bondi ya mmeka anti vits chi waliwo vits ya satu mwebiri jo yagala wandera. Waliwo vits ya million asatu mwebiri asatu mwesatu. I think that's like a 2015. But at 2009 2010 vits I think eringa million nga abiri munyaawo. Abiri munya abiri mutano. Suspension ya TX obunonko ne obukono bumenyeka. That's a new body of a Mark X. I'm not understanding. There's a new body. Yes, there's a new Mark X, guys. The one that looks like a Primo. Hilux over Land Cruiser 79 series. What are the price ranges? Asatu mutano, ana mutano. Ngabi the FX Trader. TX has good fuel economy. The diesel one, the petrol one, Ngabi. Are you talking about the diesel one? The diesel one, yes, but the petrol one is like 2.7. It can't have very good fuel economy. Battery angendo njirabyere don't infoera nchangenda gula battery. What variations of engines that the Ractis have? It has a 1 liter, it has a 1.3 and a 1.5. Buy the 1.5. 1.3 is weak. 1 liter is weak. How do you buy a Ractis with 1 liter? Seriously, you get. But there's a 1 liter version. I've seen it. How much can I get a good Mark X 2005? Guys, the other thing that I've realized that you guys should pay attention to is when you're buying a used car, okujja konga byakafuluma nga bola ba fielders nga to ina sente nyingi then you can be picky. But there are cars where because like if you're looking for a 2005, you'll find that it's the same as a 2006, it's the same as a 2007. You get it? So just say I have a budget of this amount and I want a Mark X. And then they'll bring for you Mark X's. And then you pick out the best one at your budget. So I find that you don't say I want a 2000, and that's a weakness that normally we have. Like you go with someone to inspect, and the only thing they're looking at is the year. What year is this? What year is this? Sometimes the year does not matter. Ata TXA teyagala jidduka koze evulunguka mangu. True. TXA gwako. I find that most SUVs are like that, but some are more stable than others. Okitegeera. Tulina dakika 10 mbasibule. My guys, AI is wonderful. I'm using Dreamlab from Canva, and let me just show you something else that we can do with Dreamlab. Let me generate, and this can only work when you have a Canva Pro subscription. Let me generate, what is this? Let me generate, but I'm MacX guy because I already own a Toyota Progress. If I'm to switch, I would switch to MacX. Bobovuga Progress. A big artist. Kati, is there a chance that a bond guy can deny money transfer, like in case money is coming from, say, an organization that doesn't put money on your account, but to the bond? No, they don't. But if it reflects in 2 days, then you pick the money. You pick the car when the money reflects. That's the issue. What's taking it, right? If it reflects in 2 days, you can only pick the car when the money has reflected. That's why normally when we inspect cars with people that want to take their car immediately, I tell them, come with the money. While we have 10 minutes, I want to install a dash cam. Tell me about it. Just buy the dash cam. Some dash cams will record for like up to an hour when you're out of the car. So they can record even the things that are happening when you're not in the car. And then some dash cams, you program it, you say record, and then it starts recording. Dash cams are good. Not so useful to us as Ugandans. For me, the only reason I'm going to have a dash cam in my car is to record footage for the channel and whatever is going on the road. Because like you see how I do tomorrow morning, our broadcast will start at 7:25, 7:15, between 7:15, guys. Because tomorrow we are going to see Bombo Road again. Tomorrow we will be on Bombo Road. I'll stop. I'll pass by Chigogwa, guys, tomorrow in the morning. Chigogwa will be one of the first places we see. So be on the broadcast at 7:15. Tomorrow's broadcast will start 7:15. Tugenda itake Chigogwa waba tukile chimoroka cha mafuta. For the guys that have not seen, I will park there and I show you live broadcast. So be here tomorrow. Tomorrow sigenda gende eri jengenda bulijo. So tomorrow I'll drive Bombo Road. The only stable SUV is Pajero. Pajero is really stable. Arthur, what's the current price of Canva Pro? I paid $199 the last time I paid for the individual package. Yeah, this one has Dreamlab. And Dreamlab I hadn't seen. Let me generate. I'm trying to find. Let me generate studio where the cafe sitcom is produced. Let me see what it gives me. The cafe sitcom. The cafe is my show for the guys that don't know. Multicultural employees from Uganda is produced. It's supposed to be a TV studio. Let's see what this thing gives us. So Canva is actually not, that's like 350,000. If I use AI for my coding, boy, it simplifies life. But what we'll do when it's gone, if you guys use AI for coding. You see what this thing has given me for the cafe. Production studio for the cafe. Not as realistic as I want it to be. But you know, this is how TV studios look like. And this has constantly been my dream, to build a TV studio where stuff is produced like this. And I'm going to make it happen. And I have a sample of that studio here, where we shot the cafe, season 1. Hopefully we'll have season 2. This is what it even put people there, TV studio. Even the camera crew is there. Yeah. And then it has the word Ugandan sitcom there. Yeah. AI is amazing. And then you see it has Ugandan people there. Of course, they don't have mouths. Some don't have noses, but yeah. And it even has the word the cafe. So that's Canva for you, and that's why they say that's why it's expensive right now. They have increased. Like teams used to pay $199, I think. Now they're paying $500. Yeah, they even have Droptober. I don't know what that means, but they have a lot of features now. I think Dreamlab is like their baby, the new thing. It's like the new thing. You can even create a website in Canva. You guys, let me see. You can use Canva to, you have been using Canva to create websites. I don't know. Does it give you codes? Like, does it give you back a code? You have a very nice camera. Which make is this, bro? This is a Samsung. I think it can generate for me a vision board. Yes, it can. AI is getting this rural school. Habati. Totela kubyoge na wano. Totela kugamati AI is getting Steve Barros chechiriwo. Twina dachika meka. Nya mbasibule. Which is the best semi-truck in Uganda? It depends what you're going to use it for, Alex Wawero. It depends. Sino-trucks now are working and they are brand new, so that's why people. But I think no Spear Motors valita fuso. They also have 0 mileage fusos. I find that they also work. Yeah. How much is the dash cam? Ngabi FX, you have to import the dash cams yourself. You choose. You can go to eBay and look through the dash cams. There are dash cams that look like side mirrors, driving mirror, like this one. This is a dash cam. I've never really used this. I just bought it, but I've never used it. So it has a camera here, and then it has a memory card slot somewhere here, and then this is the power slot. The reason I haven't even used it is because I did not notice that this thing, like, it has refused to focus on it. But this power cord is not common in Uganda anymore. And then it has controls. So there are so many types of dash cams that you can buy. You just have to go to eBay and look at the ones you want. There are dash cams that record outside, inside, and behind. Yeah. So as you drive, and that's the one I want to record the footage that I'm going to use for. Every don't is space your old model. Atogula space your old model, King Daniels. There are better cars. Yeah. So guys, can't basibula. No code in Canva. It's like doing in WordPress. Just drag and draw. I've not tried the Canva thing. I think I can use it for landing pages. Yeah. Like for me, a website, normally I buy templates. It's easier. But if I'm going to create a landing page, I find that Canva might actually give me a better landing page, and then I just transfer. WordPress in the Billy Crown. I use ChatGPT actually. You just tell it what you want, and boom, you sit back and edit. I know ChatGPT is wonderful, but you guys, for the guys that do assignments using ChatGPT, there are so many tools that now that detect AI. Like I have this tool called Quillbot. You guys have used it probably. Quillbot, and Quillbot, when you pay for Pro like the one I have, you can actually detect AI text. So we were writing a script some time ago, and then there was this chick in our team that simply would go to AI, ChatGPT, and get scripts, scenes written out properly. And then and then I noticed her English was different. And I said, you get, and at that time the chick was pregnant. She said that's how pregnant women be intelligent. Then I secretly got her script and put it in Quillbot. And then Quillbot said that the script was 100% AI generated. And then I asked her, why do you lie? She said, Kale, I used AI. You get, so you need to understand that there are tools that test AI. And people can see. Better late than never, Nicholas. How are you? Joey, akavido karabie. Yeah, naro. So guys, Kamba Sivule, thank you very much for being back. Tomorrow we are starting at 7:15 and we're going to see Chigogwa. So be part of the broadcast. Tugendala wa Chigogwa. Nange sirabanga. So I'm going to see it with you guys. So I'm going to go there. And of course it was sad what happens. But let's see it. Let's see it tomorrow. Tusime Eddie Jones, Info Paul Sema, Wandera Joshua Louis, Edwin Mogerwa Balvids, Michael Chris Muwonge, Waswa Roderick Froska, Kwikiriza Maria Oyo Brian, Billy Crown, Nsereko Starch, Dumba Collins, Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, Fastbone, Tabulas Plumbing Services, Limited Uganda, Rubura Chris Fitness, Rama Charity Organization, Martha Marisa, King Daniels, Bob Kui, Katumba Hamidu, Chigundu, Chiwanuka, Lucas Kevo, JK, Traveler, Fahad Laptop Villa, Alex Waweru, Morad K Momo VIP, Patrick Rio Poultry Farm, Pade Agumenitwe Cleaver, Juma Ali, Ben Kako, Habart, Abali Mukamori. I don't take it for granted. Temuida with the pre-purchase inspection. Tuzukora atenyo. Atugonza Ronald, Habart, Danny Okeni, Albino Olak, Vilgax, Chilembwe Baker, Wandera Joshua, Matovu Jordan, Ngabi the FX trader, Nyibigira Benjamin, a big artist, Habart Sab, Edwin Mugerwa, Munoza Siba Mazeyo, Noyo Muchayino, Bam Japani, Habart, Steve Barros, Lubega Francis, Joel, Amina, thank you, Joel. Billy Crown, Mama Zayo Banangi, Juko Nicholas, Lubega Francis, Matovu Jordan, Banangi Mamaze, Marcus, yes, Japan. Favor Asara, yes. After abakola inspection nowadays, tebachatuwa KFC. Munangi, abantu bana abakola inspection tebagula KFC. You know, mutu kwa agula na paso sete yasemba yo KFC. Yes, yasemba yo. I think ngata kochi samuano buli kumacha tukola broadcast. Bananga agenda kola inspection, take away emitwalo ngamu samu ja bucket. Guys, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. I don't take you for granted. Battery yange emoroka ya food day. Ateka battery ako nakala banga tuva mubona. Nemagamba temuso akumfuna battery ya fizilieza amazi. Kati nchangenda gula battery. Bana mukama abampero mukisama, the good Lord bless you. See you tomorrow morning 7:15 tugenda ita Kigogwa. Tulabe une Kigogwa kimoroka wechaya bikira, so that you see with your own eyes on the phone, on the channel for the love of cars. May God bless you. Ciao.